this is Chrism, and I'd like to have another conversation with you about the Kundalini awakening within an individual. This can happen spontaneously at times, and when this happens spontaneously, it can be very, very, very difficult for a person inside the Western societies to experience. But not only the individual, but the individual's family and friends and work, and the entire social structure can come under an incredible amount of strain. And so, you know, I would like to I'd like to talk to you, but also to your family and friends. I want you to understand that if you or a family member or a friend that you're aware of is experiencing anything like intense energy rushes that pulse through the entire body of the person in incredibly powerful ways. You know, the person will see lights, the person will hear buzzing or the sounds of insects, chanting where there's nobody chanting around them, or the smells of incense, or intense heat or cold or involuntary body movements. A lot of these things are directly related to the Kundalini, and you know, if you go into the MD's office, they're, you know, if they understand Kundalini, well, then they may be able to go, you're having a Kundalini awakening, here's what you might want to try. If they don't understand it, some of the MDs understand it as a spiritual emergency, and that will get you kind of a ticket to the psych ward, or some sort of a heavy drug involvement. I am not a medical doctor, and so therefore I'm not going to say don't do this or do that. I'm just going to let you know that there are options that go beyond the medical paradigm. You may have extreme hyperactivity. You may have extreme sensitivities, hot and cold that aren't able to be measured by mechanical means, you know, like a thermometer, or extremely excessive episodes of grief. If someone has just passed away in the family, this grief can go far beyond what other people in the family are experiencing. And this is due to the incredible amplification of emotions that the Kundalini can bring. And this can lead a person into a spiral of depression that'll last for years. So I really want people to be aware of this. I want you to be aware of a lot of these symptoms that I'm naming. You know, you may smell things. You may smell things that nobody else smells. You may hear things that nobody else hears. And you certainly may see things that nobody else sees. You're not going crazy. This is Kundalini. Okay, this cuts through all of the assumptions that are made by science, by government, by religion, by educational institutions. You know, because they can replicate something, therefore it's real. Well, some things step beyond that limited paradigm. And Kundalini is certainly one of those experiences that steps beyond those paradigms mentioned. So, just so you know that you're not going crazy, okay? You're actually becoming more of a unified self than you ever were before, as basically an ego self. You're not sick. You're not diseased. You don't have an ailment. Okay, a lot of things had to go right for you to have this. And if you're seeing this information, if you're seeing this video, you're being guided very well. You're being guided into a way of recognition. This first part in a series about the Kundalini Emergency or spiritual emergency. This first part is all about recognizing what you may be experiencing. Okay? This can happen through the influence of drugs. This can happen through the influence of light-bearing plants such as ayahuasca or mescaline or peyote or any of these various entheogenic plants that a lot of people will experiment with. Mushrooms, magic mushrooms being one of the main culprits. This can happen to you, and it can put you into a world of confusion. And from that confusion, it can lead you into a world of pain. Not just for you, but for your entire family. Your entire family and your loved ones get to experience this right along with you. And this is something that doesn't go away. This isn't something that, like a recreational drug or a pharmaceutical drug, it's ingested and then it lasts for a number of hours and then it goes away. This doesn't go away. This keeps on going and going and going. And it affects your sleeping patterns. It affects your eating patterns. It affects the levels of consciousness that you're able to engage in. It affects all of these patterns. Many of the diagnoses from the medical community will be of a schizophrenic or bipolaristic basis, because they don't know about the Kundalini, and what they don't know about doesn't exist for them, and so they're not able to make that connection. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people out there who are doing copious amounts of activities, typically from an addiction standpoint, that will reflect actual bipolarism and actual schizophrenic and actual combinations, of those two conditions. This is not Kundalini, even though Kundalini will have severe amplification and will go from the extreme polarity of one point to the extreme polarity of another point. It is not bipolarism. It is not schizophrenia. Okay, these are diagnoses based in the very, very, very young science of psychology. Kundalini predates psychology by about 10,000 years. Okay, Freud never heard of it. Jung started to experiment with it. He started to understand it. So consider these statements. Consider these symptoms that I itemized for you in this opening section of the Kundalini Emergency, Spiritual Emergency videos that we're going to put out. This is for family and friends as well as the individual experiencing the Kundalini. You need to have people supporting you, not trying to get you committed. Thanks for listening and watching.